Marbella with Him and Her are proud to be sponsored by the friendliest bar in San Pedro, the Hogan Stand. The place for amazing food, live music and sport, karaoke, quizzes, and a welcoming smile. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Check out their Instagram page at the Hogan Stand and at the Hogan Hackers for their golf society.
This podcast may contain adult themes and strong language. And welcome to episode 102 of Marbella with Him and Her, brought to you by the Hogan Stand. He is
PJ Lopez and she is
Hannah Murray. Can you imagine when we've done like 33,859 episodes? I think at some stage we'll need to stop doing the numbers.
Yeah, can you work out how old we'd be then? I don't think we'll actually get to that number.
Okay, fair point. So as long as they're manageable numbers to say.
I do think we can stop saying the episode numbers.
We could do, couldn't we?
Yes.
But we need to record it because we need to know when we hit milestones. But I don't think we need to say the episode number.
No, only when we hit a milestone.
Exactly. Then it'll be a surprise for everybody.
Yes.
Okay, fair play. Last Sunday, I've got these gorgeous photos, so I had to mention it. It was quite a big milestone for us and our cat, Poppy. We were spending a bit of time on the sofas downstairs, having a sofa each, watching telly, and Poppy got up onto the sofa next to me for the first time and kind of sniffed around a bit and was looking like she was going to get comfy, and then she got back down again and we were like, oh, that's massive. And then she got up on the sofa next to you and she curled up by your legs.
Yeah, that is a first.
It really was.
It sounds strange, but she's still sort of getting, not used to us. She's very used to us, but she's still wary.
Yeah.
You can tell sometimes when we move a little bit fast, she's a little bit scared about what's happening. Or if you put your hands towards her, sometimes she gets very scared still. So
it's all in her terms, isn't it? Sometimes she loves being loved, but only when she decides she wants to.
So I had a very strange dream last night.
Did you?
Yeah. Poppy was in it, but so was Nelly, our other cat.
Our previous
cat. Yes, who unfortunately we had to let go just before the lockdown. The dream was that we had actually lost Nelly, as in disappeared, and then Giles was in it, and Giles had found Nelly, and Giles was fussing Nelly. And then I said, oh my God.
I work with Giles, by the way. And Giles also loves cats.
So I said, oh my God, that's Nelly. So I stopped and he's like, yeah, that's Nelly. And he was fussing Nelly. And then I said, okay, well, it looks like Nelly's happy because we've obviously got Poppy now. We've replaced Nelly. But then as I was driving, I could see that Nelly was limping, had a really bad leg. So I stopped and said, no, I can't do this. So I picked up Nelly and was cuddling Nelly. And Nelly was a lot bigger, furrier than I remember in real life.
Yeah.
And Giles said, look, I can take Nelly, it's not a problem. And I said, well, where are you staying now? And Tola or something? I don't know why that came up. That's literally what the place was. And he said, look, I can take Nelly, it's not a problem. I said, no, I think I'm going to give it a go. It's going to be tough, but I'll try and integrate them together at home. And then I woke up.
Oh, how weird.
Yeah, very strange.
Oh, bless. On Monday, Nicole and I from Good Morning Spain, Nicole and I went to an induction class at Pilates 10 in San Pedro. We've been trying to find a new place to do Pilates, which is closer to home, basically. And this was quite a bizarre experience. It's near the Ambulatorio in San Pedro, so we're a bit worried about parking, but we got parking, which was fine. The whole thing was in Spanish, which I knew, and I thought, well, I've been doing Pilates for years, so I'll get by. My Spanish isn't that bad, and I'll be able to get by. But then she kind of interviewed everyone. She went round the class and asked us what our name was and whether we'd done Pilates before, whether we had any injuries. And my Spanish wasn't good enough to reply, and I felt like such a numpty. Thank goodness Nicole was there, so she did it all for me. And the woman did actually speak a little bit of English. There was also a woman there from Holland who didn't speak Spanish really. She'd lived here for about a year. And that was kind of justifiable that she didn't speak Spanish, having only lived here for a year. And I felt so embarrassed. It's honestly my biggest, if not only, regret, and something that makes me feel bad about myself, not speaking fluent Spanish, having lived here for over 20 years. I think that is disgusting.
We're going to try and do something about it, though. We've allocated Wednesdays doing things for ourselves.
Apart from this coming Wednesday, because I've got rehearsal.
Yes, well, after all
So
of
there'll
that.
always be exceptions.
Yeah, we're going to use that day to do stuff. And I think learning Spanish is going to be one of them. And you found a new method which looks at the most used words in Spanish language. And we're going to try and work it from that way, sort of backwards. If we can.
I want to look up specific things like we went to, we've been to, I've been to, I really enjoy, my favourite thing is, the beginning of sentences like that I want to say. This was what this guy was recommending. Think of the things that you want to say the most of. You know, I know how to order in a restaurant. I know how to say what my name is and where I'm from and how are you. And, you know, there's so many parts of basic Spanish which I know and have known for years. But I remember when I worked at the radio station when it was at La Colonia, there was a security guard there and we said hello to each other, good morning to each other every day for the best part of 15 years that I worked there for. And I hated not being able to say, oh, did you have a good weekend? What did you do? We did this, that kind of thing. Just that basic conversational catch up with someone. That's what I was missing. And the reality is I'm still missing that. So I want to just Google things that I want to learn. I feel like that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, and then when we've mastered Spanish, we can learn French, Italian, Portuguese.
Stop. Give me a headache. No, let's crack on with Spanish. But I'm excited about learning more Spanish. I really am.
You've got your pyjama bottoms on that have pictures of you and Nikki all over them from India.
Yeah, she made these for me. She got them ordered for Christmas and they're all covered in photos from our India trip.
Exciting news. Hopefully, you will be doing another trip with the sisterhood
Oh, yes.
in
Morocco.
November.
Oh, really excited. But I won't talk about it yet because it's not all confirmed. But yes, exciting. On the horizon. So anyway, this Pilates class, it ended up not being much of a class. Most of it was talking through what the machine is and how it works and all that kind of stuff. So it
So if
wasn't...
one breaks down, you could fix it now.
Allegedly. It wasn't that great. I was expecting more of a class. But in the last few days, I've seen all these other really cool Pilates studios that have been popping up. There's another one in San Pedro. There's another one in Nueva Andalucía. And they look really nice. So watch this space.
Yeah, well, it is the in thing. Pilates, high rocks, and all
Yeah.
those sort of things are the new fitness classes.
I'm loving it. It feels great. It's a full body workout and I feel it's really good for me. And it is particularly good for women over 40, not increasing, what's it called? Something to do with core. Developing their core, getting a stronger... Strengthening, thank you. Strengthening their core and all that kind of stuff. So I really, really want to get back into a regular Monday class.
Especially if you're perimenopausal.
Oh, will you stop it? You have to get it in every episode. Monday night, I went to Club Fit Estepona. That was fun. So I knew a couple of women in the class. There was Natalie there from the Victoria and Albert pub. Jane was there from Marbella Beauty School. So I knew a few people. So the room was dark. We were all given glow sticks for the whole class. And there was all like flashing coloured lights. And it was 90s full-on dance music, a bit more happy hardcore as opposed to pop music. It was very kind of and there was a lot of jumping involved. And
while you were doing that, wasn't I making our Chinese New Year
No, that was the
feast?
next night.
Was that the next night?
That was the next night.
Wow, all your exercise stuff sort of moulds into one with me.
Oh, sorry. I can recommend Club Fit Estepona as long as you're all right with jumping. When I left the class, I was chatting to Nat and she was introducing me to a couple of friends of hers and I was like, I didn't expect so much jumping. And they were like, oh, God, yeah, I know. And I said, I think I need to work on my pelvic floor. And they all laughed and said, yeah, like we need to keep running to the loo. And I haven't even had kids, so I have no excuse. And one of the other girls was obviously younger than me. And she was like, yeah, I haven't either, but I also struggled. I don't know how to describe this.
You need Jane Fonda's workout, clearly.
Whoa, I need thicker underwear.
Oh, no, come on.
I'm telling you.
Now, when I see women exercising, that's all I'm going to think of. What if they've done a wee?
Honestly, it's one thing doing like 10 jumping jacks, but we must have done about 50 jumping jacks. And as well as that, lots of just random jumping, waving the glow sticks about. It's hard on the pelvic floor.
Yes, work on the pelvic floor. We don't want any accidents.
Yeah, clearly. I had a message from Matt, our friend Matt, who comes to the quiz every week. He listens to our podcast, which is really nice. And he messaged after last week's episode saying, really enjoying the podcast. However, the fact that PJ doesn't remember this is frankly outrageous. And he sent a link to Scatman John's song.
Still don't remember it.
That's
that
so
one
weird.
Must have passed me by.
Because Giles at work is the same age as you, and I mentioned it to him, and he started singing it straight away. And he was.
Right. One thing I do remember is there's Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's Klingons on the starboard bow.
I'm not sure that's something you should be proud of.
Oh.
You might not want to tell people that, but well done. While we're talking about work, a couple of really interesting people that I interviewed last week. I only worked 2 days last week because Wednesday we went to the UK.
That's not really called working then, is it?
What?
2 days.
Still working? Bit rude. I interviewed Jamie Hailstone, who's written a biography about Chris Rea and his songs. We had a very interesting chat, particularly about the song Driving Home for Christmas, because that was his most successful song, and he absolutely hated it. He did it as a kind of B-side song to fill up an album, almost as a joke, and he couldn't believe that it became so successful and so many people's favourite Christmas songs. Do you know, he only performed it live once.
Wow.
He refused to play it.
Did this book whip up a storm?
Why is that funny?
Because it was written by Jamie Hailstone.
God, have we reached these depths now? Is this you being entertaining?
That's my joke of the day.
Oh, well done. The fact that you needed to explain it isn't great.
I'll work on my joke.
Okay, thank you. I also had a guy on called Rowan McCabe, who is the world's first door-to-door poet.
Door-to-door poet?
Yep. So he spent about a year going around the UK, and basically he would knock on somebody's door. He'd do whole roads going up and down, whole council estates and things like that. He'd knock on someone's door and say, I'm a door-to-door poet, and ask them what matters to them in the world, what is important to them. Sometimes it would be something really serious. Sometimes it would be really light-hearted.
Sorry, so if someone knocked on our door asking that, I'd slam the door in their face.
Well, I asked him that, and he said that happened a lot less than you would think.
Wow.
People were really nice.
Someone came up to me and say, what matters to you and what? Fuck off.
Well, you're unlike the rest of the UK because people...
In a council estate as well.
Yes.
I'm surprised he got to the other end alive.
I know.
Wow.
I know. So, yeah, he would ask them what mattered to them and then say, OK, I'm going to go away and come back and perform a poem that I've written about this. So he'd do a whole road and he'd make notes and then he'd disappear, go back home or go to a cafe or whatever, write a load of poems, and then he'd come back knocking on each door and perform this poetry that he'd written for people. Isn't that an amazing idea?
Yeah, I want you to try it, and I want to see how many people actually let you read them.
I'm not trying it. I couldn't do that. It became his job. He got funded by the BBC Council, something. Yeah.
That's where all the money's going, is it?
Because he did it for over a year. It became like a Radio 4 project and stuff. But what an amazing thing to do.
It is amazing. It's just, I'm gobsmacked.
I also had a fabulous lady on called Kathy Slack, who's written a book called Rough Patch. Kathy had an incredibly successful corporate career in central London and realised that she was getting burnt out and realised that she was quite stressed. So she quit her job and somehow got into gardening. And she's really successful. She's written books on gardening and cookbooks and things like that. She's the go-to gardening expert for Fortnum and Mason. She does cooking school things with them.
Kim Wilde did that.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Yeah, she's now known as a singer and a gardener.
Yeah. Well, this lady was fascinating because I said to her, if people want to get into gardening and don't know where to start, you'd assume that they should start with something simple because you want to give people the confidence. If they kill it straight away, they'll go, oh, I'm crap at this.
I think you should read her book.
Because I said I'm not great at keeping things alive necessarily.
Well, no, you start off very enthusiastically about gardening and you'll spend like a morning or a day gardening and then you sort of lose interest. Yeah. And I'm left to pick up the pieces.
I've done all right with the plants, haven't I?
Well, sort of. You haven't cut them back. I mean, they are literally overgrowing.
Well, we've had so much rain, to be fair.
You can't be a fair weather gardener.
Well, no, but you don't need to do so much when the rain's been watering the plants. Next weekend, I'll tell you, I'll get back out there.
Good.
But
You heard that. Our podcast next week will include Hannah's gardening tips.
Okay. I said to her, I presume that one of the easiest things is a tomato plant, because that's where...
You killed that.
All right. I said that's where most people start, but most people don't necessarily keep them alive. And she said that the tomato plant is one of the hardest things to keep alive in terms of vegetables, fruit and vegetables. So there you go. I thought that was really interesting.
I also remember with this tomato plant, we'd get the odd tomato on it, but we never sort of got a harvest of tomatoes because you just pick it and eat it. So there was never any... And a tomato knows for about a day, if you're lucky, and then you ate it.
It's because it's one of the hardest things to keep alive. And someone else I wanted to mention, Carla Ciccone, her book is called Nowhere Girl, and it was all about ADHD. She was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 39. And we were talking about how common it is for women to be diagnosed with ADHD now. For years, all the science and all the research was on young boys, and it was all connected to boys being hyperactive. And instead of them just being unruly and not wanting to learn, it was often that they were struggling with ADHD.
So what is ADHD?
Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder.
So it's basically when people don't listen in class and they're running around, they would sometimes assume that they're just not interested.
Yeah.
Whereas actually they have ADHD.
Yeah, that was often the case. And for some reason, the research typically focused on boys. And it was something that young boys were getting because young boys were hyperactive and running around and things like that. But a lot of women have been going through life and it manifests different in women, she was saying. It's a lot more internal. Women suffer with a lot more anxiety and worry and things like that. And basically more and more women are in their 30s and 40s are being diagnosed now with ADHD. And loads of the women in the sisterhood group, a lot of these really successful entrepreneurial business women have all been diagnosed with ADHD. And they had said in the group, I wonder if there's any correlation between female entrepreneurs and ADHD. And I asked this woman about it and she said that's a really interesting comparison. And she said because a lot of the skills that you need to be a successful entrepreneur and a successful businesswoman, you need to be able to take risks. You've got to be able to do lots of different things at once. And a lot of these things are connected and are the sort of symptoms that you'll have with ADHD. So that was really
interesting.
Yeah, I really
you should
thought
be a
it
psychologist.
was. I should?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you pieced that together when she was talking to you.
It was fascinating. So we went to the UK on Wednesday morning flight, because it was your stepdad Graham's 80th birthday.
Yes, so we headed to the UK, to the beautiful weather of Crowborough. It rained every day, didn't it?
Yeah, it was grey and dull every day.
And cold.
Yeah.
We sort of left as it was just turning here to sunshine. So we left with big cashmere overcoats and you had your big anorak and scarves and everything, which looked a bit stupid when we returned, to be fair.
Yeah, we were carrying it all instead of wearing it all. But we literally lived in them the whole weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, you couldn't go out without... I tried once and I was freezing.
Freezing?
I was going to say frozen, not freezing, and it came out as both.
Freezing.
Freezing.
I made a note of something that the pilot said on the plane because it did make me laugh. He was quite comical. He was talking about the fact, OK, things are looking good, the pathway to getting to the UK. In fact, we might land a bit earlier, which is all good. He was talking about everything being positive and everything going to plan. And then he paused and said, yes, so the computer says yes, which was obviously referencing Little Britain, and computer says no, which I thought was really funny.
It's good to have a comical pilot.
It is.
As long as he knows how to fly the bloody plane.
Yeah, I have to say, on the way back to Spain, there was a female pilot and the landing was much better. Just saying.
You sure she landed it?
Yes. Okay. Say it like that.
How do you know it was a female pilot?
Because they announced the guy who was the head of whatever, the manager, he said, I can't remember what her name was, but it was a female name.
Well, a reverse parking was okay, but I'm not sure about the flying.
Oh, stop it. It was fine. I wanted to comment because I felt you were commenting on me having a few drinks on the plane both ways.
Didn't comment. I got you an extra drink.
You did. Thank you. You did take a photo of me having a Prosecco in Malaga Airport.
Yes, before 10 o'clock in the morning. That is worthy of a photo.
Well, I get into holiday mode.
Holiday mode?
It was all...
We've been to England, not China.
Yeah, but it still feels like a bit of a holiday. And it reminded me of, so Joanne McNally, the Irish comic, she does the podcast with Vogue Williams that I like. My therapist ghosted me, that's what it is. She talks about space gin. So when I went away with the girls to Morocco a couple of years ago, so when she's on a plane and she travels a lot because she does a lot of comedy gigs all around the world, she always drinks gin and tonic when she's on a plane, and she talks about it as being space gin because she's not on land, she's kind of up in space, and so it doesn't really count.
You were at the airport. That does count. You weren't in the air yet. You've just blown that whole thing out.
I was preparing to go into space.
And it wasn't gin, it was carver.
Space carver.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. You were on the ground.
Oh, well, I was
you
preparing.
Were just drinking.
Okay, fine. We stopped on the way back to the house at a pub, Crow and Gate.
Crow and Gate, which always reminds me of like a baby food.
Yes, Cow and Gate.
Oh, that'd be why.
That's
then.
why,
yeah.
yes.
Crow and Gate.
Crow and Gate.
Yeah.
I had the lasagna, which was really nice, and it was supposed to come with garlic bread. And he said, we're out of garlic bread, I'm afraid. Would you like chips? And I was like, oh, no, thank you. The idea of having chips and lasagna felt a bit extravagant. And I said, no, it's fine, it's fine. And he said, how about onion rings? And I was like, ooh.
So you went from chips to onion rings, which are probably much
Probably worse. But I'd never have onion rings, and they were nice.
You devoured it all quite quickly.
It was lovely. What did you have?
I had the burger.
Oh, yeah,
the signature burger, it was called, which came with onion rings as well. That was all right. We were talking about this, though, with Graham. They had a few things that they didn't have that they'd run out of. Now, it was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was a weekend. It was like midweek. So it's not as busy as it is during the weekend. They'd run out, obviously, of the garlic bread. They'd run out of a pudding that Graham wanted.
Yeah, they only had 3 puddings. They only had sticky toffee pudding, chocolate brownie and sorbet. And she said, I'm really sorry, but we're out of chocolate brownies, but we've got everything else. And I thought, everything else is not exactly a big dessert
And we noticed that this is a sort of thing. A lot of places in the UK, they were missing things off the menu, and quite important things. And we just started thinking that, look, you've run out of garlic bread. Go to the supermarket and buy some. I mean, it's not difficult, is it? It's really strange how they're just missing so many different things and they're not replacing it. And then they just say, oh, well, dish of the day. Yeah, we're missing that today, I'm afraid.
You said something that I had to write down because I was in absolute hysterics over this. I can't remember what it was in reference to, but you were like trying to quote a song. You said, it's awfully fly for a white boy. And I was crying with laughter, and you were like, what? Isn't that how it goes? And I said, for a start, boy doesn't rhyme with fly, and it's not awfully fly. The song is pretty fly for a white guy.
I watched a remake of that. Was it a film?
No, that was part of a song.
Oh, okay.
Pretty fly for a white guy.
I think I listened to the version by Chopin.
Yeah, I don't think Chopin did a version after Blink 182. So for Graham's 80th, we wanted to take him out for a meal, his choice.
Yeah, I said we go anywhere you want, pub grub, restaurant in Tunbridge Wells, wherever you want to go. And then we all sort of all decided that we go to Eastbourne.
Yeah, because I said, how about fish and chips by the sea?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, which would have been nice.
We went to a Chinese buffet restaurant on Eastbourne High Street.
With all you can eat.
And we did.
It's not what we pictured, but it was. We did say anything you want.
And that's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted.
That's what we did. Celeb spotting. There was a famous person in there, Alex Brooker, who's a really funny comedian from The Last Leg. He's the one that has a fake hand. Because The Last Leg, the Australian guy who hosts it, only has one leg. He has
I'm not sure you can call it a fake hand. I think it's...
A false hand?
Yes. It's not fake, is it?
Oh, sorry.
It's
okay.
not...
I didn't mean to be offensive.
No, it's not offensive, I don't think. But It's a false hand.
False hand. Okay. Anyway, so he was there with his wife and kids. I didn't go up and say hello because he was...
Eating his Chinese buffet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's eating as much as he could.
We drove along by the sea and I took a lovely photograph of the coloured huts that were down there.
Oh, did you? I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
It's a weird place. We were saying that Eastbourne, lots of coastal towns are lovely places, but when it's raining, they just look a bit dull and drab.
Yeah, it really did. But it's the same everywhere. I said it's the same in Spain. You know, Spain is absolutely beautiful, but we've had a lot of rain recently, and it's not the same. Nowhere looks stunningly beautiful in the rain with a grey sky, I don't think.
No.
So I can see Eastbourne would be lovely in the sun.
God's waiting room.
Oh, really?
That's the name.
They say that about Bournemouth as
They
well.
do.
Yeah.
Didn't you notice as we were driving, there were a lot of care homes, and then when you looked in the hotels, a lot of elderly people enjoying their sort of afternoon tea.
Well, I suppose when you think about it, if you are retired, you'd want to be by the sea, wouldn't you?
I guess so. Not everybody, but I guess so.
Makes sense, I suppose. Either retire to Spain or a beautiful place in the sun, or the coast of England or Ireland, the country that you live in, I guess. We stopped somewhere for you to change over driving, and we happened to park outside a Wren's Kitchens. So we got a little photo there. Whenever we drive past Wren's Kitchens in the UK, it always makes me smile because that was my mum's name.
Yes, but this started the whole thing, because while we were parked outside Wren's, you then took a picture of a skip.
Yeah, there was a skip with PJ on it.
And then as soon as we started driving again, we went past Graham's.
Yes, it was really weird. And then a bit further up, there was somewhere Bennett's and our friends Debbie and Peter Bennett. Really weird. But yes, it all started with
You were
Wren's
all
Kitchens.
with us.
Yes, definitely. So we went in Eastbourne, and we also went to Tunbridge Wells. So we went through a few kind of shopping complexes. And I couldn't believe how many 90s shops I saw. Well, they're clearly not 90s shops because they're still going now. But it reminded me of high streets in the 90s in Yeovil or Poole. There was Phoenix, which I feel I haven't seen for years.
And there was, what was it opening up? There was a
Burton's.
Top Shop.
Yeah, there was New Look, Timpson, Robert
Although,
Dyer's.
I'm very concerned because someone's lost a brother.
What do you mean?
Well, Moss was Moss. It wasn't Moss Bros.
Okay.
It used to be Moss Bros.
Oh.
And the Bros has gone.
Oh, so now it's just Moss.
Yeah, so
His
they've either
brother's
had a
gone.
massive fallout or one of them dead or they're both. I don't know what's happened, but it's only Moss now.
Oh dear. There was an advert, a big advert that we saw near a bus stop, and it was an advert for Costa Coffee, and it said Spanish latte, iced coffee with caramel.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
we were
where
like,
did they get
how
that
is
from?
that a Spanish latte?
Yeah, we don't have lattes. We have con leches.
Con leche, yeah.
So,
a latte is different.
I mean, if you're going to call it something from a country, at least get it right.
Yeah, and the Spanish traditionally wouldn't have iced coffee. It's not something they do,
Well, no, they
particularly in Spain.
Yeah, I mean, you do get them a bit now, but normally from these type of places.
Yeah,
but we
from
certainly the
Starbucks or
caramels.
whatever.
What's the link to Spain there?
Not at all. I mean, very bizarre.
You know, if it had a paella in it, then I'd get it.
In the coffee.
Fish
Oh, stop!
or seafood tasting
Stop it.
coffee would be nice.
That is disgusting. Talking about coffee, we haven't mentioned, because it's probably not that interesting, that we've been drinking decaf coffee. Coffee in the
Coffee?
evenings. Coffee.
Yes, we have, and we've been sleeping much better.
Yeah.
All these people that used to say, "Oh, you have a coffee after like 5 o'clock in the evening," and we're like, "Yeah, it doesn't affect us," and then we can't sleep. And we're like, yeah, it's not the coffee.
To be fair, I don't notice the difference. I think
I'm
my
sleeping
sleeping's fine,
much
but
better.
you are.
Yeah. Oh, talking of coffee as well, we like a particular type of coffee. I don't want to make this boring, but we don't like the dark granules. We like the lighter granules and the stuff like Kenko and stuff like that. But it's extremely expensive here. And we wanted to bring some back. And we thought, God, we can't get a massive jar because that's going to take up the whole room in the backpack because we were hand luggage only. But we found they now in the UK do
Like
refills.
a refill bag,
So
yeah.
if you've got the jar, you just buy a bag of refills. So it's a lot cheaper as well. You're not paying for the packaging as such. So we bought a massive one of those back, haven't we?
Yeah, very happy with that. We went to Wetherspoons, which love doing in the UK because the difference in price is insane. So everything's measured with the drinks in the UK. The spirits aren't even worth having, but even the wine. Most places you go to, you can get a small, medium or large wine. And I was drinking small in various places because the price was crazy. In Wetherspoons, a large glass of Sauvignon Blanc wine was cheaper than the small glasses that I'd had in the other pubs that we went to. The difference is crazy.
And this Wetherspoons is amazing. It's like in an old theatre in Tunbridge Wells.
It's lovely,
like
isn't
a proper
it?
theatre, you know, they've still got all the balconies and old-fashioned balconies and things in there. It's an incredible place.
It's beautiful. And I had what I have every time in Wetherspoons, which I love, is the sticky Korean chicken bowl with rice. Oh, it's so...
I had steak and ale pudding.
Yes.
Very nice.
Why is it called pudding and
No
not
idea.
pie?
No,
Because
no
pudding
idea.
obviously sounds sweet.
Yeah, but it's like a suet pudding, isn't it? It's that type
okay.
of thing. So
Yeah.
it's very nice. It wasn't what I was going to have, but when we got up to the bar to order, I sort of had a change of mind.
Change your mind at the last minute. We were going to go bowling. I'd suggested that we went bowling, which Graham was quite up for, wasn't
Yeah.
he? But it was half term And I did say before we left, do you not think we should book? But we didn't book, and we drove there, and it was absolutely, it's like kids were like gremlins, like more kids were just being born, multiplying from the kids. It was unbelievable.
And it's like when you open a door, it's silent, and you open the door. I mean, it was bizarre, wasn't it?
I've never seen so many children. And we got there at 1:00 and said, any chance of a bowling alley for 3? And the woman said, not till about 5:30.
And it was 1:00.
Yeah, we were like, okay then. So we went to Wetherspoons instead. We also taught Graham Uno for the first time. We played Uno 2 nights in a row, and he lost badly both nights, bless him.
Yes, he's not because it's bad playing, I don't think. It's just luck of the draw, isn't it?
A lot of it is luck, yeah. There's a bit of skill involved as to when to play your cards, but yeah, a lot of it is luck, definitely, even though I won both nights.
No, you didn't. I won the first night by a long way.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you?
I'm so sorry. I take it back. You did very well.
Yes.
And then I won the second night by a long way.
Yes.
It was good fun, though. But I did... we were laughing. I got a couple of videos of you trying to show off your shuffling skills.
There's nothing wrong with my shuffling.
Oh, I think there is. You kept shuffling and then they'd all fall on the floor.
That's shuffling.
Well, I suppose you'd pick them up in a different order.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's still shuffling.
Oh, it's very funny. I have to put it on social media, your shuffling video. It was really funny, though. We also bought some daffodils and you planted them on your mum's grave.
Yeah, so we wanted to go and see my mum. Don't always get to do it when we go to, or when I go there. So as it's Mother's Day soon, I wanted to make sure that she had something on there. And rather than just buy some flowers, which would die and then get chucked away, I thought I'd plant something so they can grow with her.
Oh, it made me really emotional being there.
Yeah, it did me as well. It's amazing, isn't it? You just think, I'm just going to the grave. But then, yeah, you do get emotional.
It's an opportunity to connect and remember We noticed how bad the potholes were in the UK. We've been moaning about how bad they are in Spain. Interestingly, when I spoke to Dad at the airport, he said they filled most of them between San Pedro and Cancelada.
Already?
Which is great, because they are not doing that in the UK.
Everywhere.
It was shocking.
And they're massive, some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw on the way back to the airport, we saw a van had pulled over because he'd obviously had a blowout because he'd hit a pothole. Yeah, they're everywhere. I mean, literally, you're just... in the car every few minutes.
It's really, really bad.
We did see them filling in. We drove in a normal way that we'd always go to get into the house. And one day we drove in and suddenly the road was closed. There was no indication that the road was going to close. So we had to turn around.
All the cars had to turn round.
But it said temporarily closed for 15 minutes while they fill in pothole. They filled in a pothole. Like there's probably about 8 in this stretch of road that were really bad. They filled in one of them.
It's bizarre. And it's going to take them years to do it at that rate.
It's just strange. So, yeah, I've got to say the UK is not great when it comes to repairing roads.
Something else we did while we were there, we managed to watch a whole series of a really funny... If you liked Bad Sisters, which was an Irish series, which was hilarious, you'll love this. Very similar sense of humour. This one's set in Northern Ireland and it's called How to Get to Heaven from Belfast.
Yeah, and that intrigued us straight away. It was hysterical.
So
absolutely
funny.
Brilliant. Main character, Saoirse. Spell Saoirse.
Soirse, I think.
Very good.
I think that's
about right.
Got the O and the I around the right way. On the way home, we went to Wagamama in the airport and had some really delicious food. I had the udon noodle katsu chicken thing.
Yes. Big bowl.
It was a big bowl.
Big glass of wine.
Yes. Oh, gosh, so expensive. I had the medium glass of Sauvignon Blanc, £12.
Yeah, so basically more than 2 bottles of wine in Spain, just for one glass.
And more than twice of what the large wine cost in Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
It was just €5 something for a large glass of wine in Wetherspoons.
It was the airport, so you expect to pay a bit more, but it's just a rip-off, isn't it?
Yeah. You had the Thai beef salad, which looked really nice.
Well, we'd eaten so much sort of Friday type food.
Friday?
Yeah, that's the new word I've made up.
Friday.
Fried food. And I just fancied a salad. So I was dying for some greens.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. Really good.
Looked
Enjoyed
really
it.
nice.
With my sparkling water.
Well done. Only because you were We saw an advert, not an advert, like a meme or something that I posted online, which really made me giggle. And we had quite an extensive discussion about it. It was a photograph of Leanne Rimes, the singer. And then there was a quote from her that said, "A good friend just told me the key to a successful marriage was to argue naked."
Yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
I was trying to work out in what context, whether you're having a normal discussion with clothes on and then it turns to an argument and you're
you
supposed to
strip
take
off.
your clothes off.
Yeah, and that would be weird. Maybe that's how you diffuse the argument.
Exactly. I think that would be funny if we were having an argument and I took my
Then
top
you just
off.
stop laughing instead.
Or start laughing,
Or
you
start
mean?
laughing.
Stop laughing. Start laughing.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we don't argue a lot, do we? The odd bicker, but we don't full on argue.
No, we don't sort of whip our clothes off in front of each other and just look. And
Maybe we should. Next time you get arsy
I've
with
got
me,
a
I'm going to take my top off.
I've got a feeling if we did that, it might start an argument.
Why?
What you doing? Why are you doing that?
It's a Tuesday afternoon, for God's
Put it
sake.
back on, for God's sake.
One of the
Is
things...
it cold?
Oh, stop. Is that to me or to you?
Could be either, couldn't it?
One gets bigger, one gets smaller. Oh dear. Something we missed while we were away, which we were a little bit upset about, but don't worry, I'm going to go there tomorrow morning. Lidl has opened in
Yes.
San Pedro.
We missed the grand opening.
Missed the grand opening. So this is opposite La Colonia, or it's kind of in the La Colonia area. And yeah, they've been building it over the last few months. They've done it quite quickly, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited because we do like Lidl.
We do. So you think that's going to... I thought that was your
That was a car
That was a
revving up
motorbike
outside.
going past.
Goodness. I wouldn't do that on the podcast. Not like you, nor my name's not Hannah.
Stop it. It'd be silly. So yeah, you were saying that you think Lidl should become our primary supermarket of choice.
Yes, because I think that generally everything's cheaper, fresher, better choice. And I do think Mercadonna's gone up massively in price.
Yeah, it has.
So there are things that we will still want to get from Mercadona, like the tuna that we get, the cat and things.
The smoked salmon pieces.
Yeah, so there's still things that we will get there, but it won't be our main shop anymore, I don't think.
Okay.
Which is good because we don't have to drive all the way up there.
Yeah.
Just go there. I
Much,
could go on
much
the way
easier.
home from work.
Oh, yeah.
You can meet me there.
Oh, exciting.
No, you actually pick me up most of the time, so we can go there together.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love how this is married life. Exciting.
Never boring.
Tickets are now on sale for Cocktails and Entertainment. This is a new show that ITS is doing, the International Theatre Studio, and I am involved. For the first time, we're performing at Havana 65, which is the cocktail place you went to last weekend.
Yes, and if you are going, I can recommend the Espresso Martini, and if you like a good porn star, they do that as well.
Porn star martini, not an actual porn star. You'll be very disappointed. Cocktails and Entertainment, the first half is some comedy poetry, which is directed by my dad, Bernard Murray. And the second half is a comedy play called Busy Lives, which is directed by Sheila Mellor. And I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be reading some poetry, Pam Ayres, things like that. So really fun stuff.
So you could take this and knock on people's doors and read poetry to
I
people?
could, but I won't. So yes, it's happening on Wednesday, the 11th of March from 7 p.m. So you can sip a cocktail, mocktail if you prefer, whilst watching some fun poetry and a fun play.
Bit of culture.
Bit of culture.
And cocktails. That would have been a better name.
Culture and cocktail. So internationaltheatrestudio.org is the website for your tickets. I'm not sure how much they are, but they're not going to be much.
No, because it doesn't include food.
No. And you have been getting a little bit obsessed this morning about Punch the Monkey.
Poor Punch.
Oh, I don't like
Punch
it.
is being bullied.
No.
Punch has gone viral.
Where has Punch come from? Who is Punch?
Punch is a monkey in Japan.
Okay.
It's a baby monkey rejected by its mother.
Oh.
And all the other monkeys in the enclosure were bullying it. So they gave Punch a cuddly toy. So he had something to cuddle because all the other monkeys were being cuddled. And he wasn't. But all the other monkeys were still bullying him and trying to steal his cuddly toy.
Oh, that's
so he's gone
horrible.
viral. So everybody's following Punch. I mean, Andrew Tate wanted to buy Punch. IKEA are now using Punch in some of their adverts.
Oh my God, it's gone crazy.
Yeah, it's gone bad.
But there was a photo you showed me of the mum cuddling Punch.
Well, it wasn't the mum.
Oh,
it was
wasn't the
another
mum.
monkey. So finally, Punch has been cuddled by another monkey.
Oh, bless. Poor little Punch. I don't like the name Punch because saying Punch the Monkey sounds like you're encouraging someone to punch a monkey.
Yeah, I'm not sure
which
why
is
it was
horrible.
called Punch.
Maybe
But
because
it's a-
people were punching him.
Possibly, but it is the new viral sensation.
finally, a few articles to mention, courtesy of our collaborators, the Euro Weekly News. This is an interesting one. The EU plans to put your ID on your phone in 2026. They're rolling out a new digital identity system that could allow millions of residents to store official ID, licenses and certificates directly on their phones. It's called the EU Digital Identity Wallet.
So straight away, I think that's flawed and dangerous, because if you lose your phone or it gets stolen, everybody's got your ID and everything else about you.
That's absolutely what I thought.
I don't get it.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm assuming there'll be passwords involved and things like that.
Yeah, but people that steal phones and stuff, they can still have this information. So, yeah, I'm not sure everything should be on your phone.
No, I agree. I think it's flawed too. Spain is being considered for the construction of the biggest sphere in the world. This is called the Moon Resort Project. It's designed to replicate the lunar surface, designed to create an immersive lunar experience. It would include a 4,000-room luxury hotel and cover an area of 200 hectares. It sounds and looks insane.
There's no hotel on the moon.
Correct.
So it doesn't really replicate the moon's surface, does it?
No, but parts of it will do, the top part of the hotel. I mean, it sounds bizarre. I can't really get my head around it, but the drawings of how they want it to look is epic.
Are you sure it's just not in a bit of wasteland? They're going to build a nice hotel and then you step out into all this like shit, basically. Say that's what the moon's like.
No, I don't think so. But we probably won't go and stay there because it will probably be 400 million euros a night. But maybe we might be able to go and have a drink.
Be out of this world.
Very good, very good. Maybe we can go in there and have a beer and walk on the moon's surface. That would be a good selfie, wouldn't it?
That would be a space gin.
That would be a space gin. Absolutely. Very good.
No matter what time of the morning it is.
Yes. There was also an article, because we've talked about this before, telling people how to claim back compensation from the government for damage to your vehicle due to the dire conditions of the roads. We said, oh yeah, that'll be difficult. But there is a website. It is the letter D, Vuelta, VUELTA.es. So if you have had your car damaged by a pothole, get on the website, dvuelta.es.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the UK as well, and apparently you can do it in the UK, but nobody ever gets any money back because they say, "Oh no, it's not on our registered database of potholes, I'm afraid, so you can't have any money back."
Yeah,
I mean, who registers a pothole?
Oh, it was a Wednesday afternoon. I'm sorry, we don't cover them for Wednesday afternoon. Yeah. It's all that kind of crap. The Winter Olympics is now over, isn't it? It finished.
No, has it?
Yeah, I think so. It finished on Sunday. Oh, today is Sunday.
Yeah, it finishes today. I was going to say there's still stuff going on. Because last night, the men's curling, that's a completely different sport. There's no Winter Olympic hurling.
No, there isn't.
There is Winter Olympic curling.
There is.
And the GB men came second to the USA. They were pipped at the post, apparently.
And didn't Canada cheat?
Yeah, so this is one of the big things. There's been a lot of things happening at the Olympics this year. So we've had somebody admit an affair after winning a gold medal.
Yeah, this was bizarre. This guy won a gold medal and being interviewed, and he's really proud about winning a medal, and he took it as an opportunity to confess that he'd cheated on his girlfriend 3 months ago, which was really weird. And obviously her reaction wasn't great. It's
really?
It's not just that she'd been cheated on, but why did he have to announce it to the whole world?
Yeah, so
I mean, how embarrassing.
Yeah. And then on the opposite end of the scale, there's been an engagement.
Yes, that was quite sweet. It was Olivia Smart.
Who's Spanish. So she's a Spanish figure skater.
Oh, wasn't her boyfriend Spanish?
No, I think he's American.
Okay. She's Spanish with a name like Olivia Smart.
I know, I don't get it either.
Okay.
He proposed during the Winter Olympics.
Nice. Something that Charlie said to me, Charlie Broom, Nikki's husband, who does the sport sometimes with me on the radio, he said that they ran out of condoms in the Olympic Village.
Really?
But he said apparently that happens quite often.
Yes. Well, one of them recently that they banned, so they put the people in different places and banned anyone sleeping with each other. And I don't think it was the best Olympics, to be honest.
Because they're better having had sex.
Well, there's one woman who's quite an attractive lady, can we say, that was a speed skater who won and unzipped her top down to her sort of midriff, revealing her underwear, and she's now got $1 million deal off the back of that.
Yeah, she's the girlfriend or the wife of Jake Paul, the YouTube star boxer.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
It was sad news. Lindsey Vonn broke her leg after a big comeback. She was in her 40s and she desperately wanted one last try at Olympic medal.
Yeah, well, she was skiing with an ACL injury, so she had ruptured her ACL. Obviously,
what's an ACL?
It's in your leg.
Okay.
It's what a lot of footballers get.
Okay.
Yeah, so she broke her leg in lots of different places.
Very sad.
She's had to have it all put back together. So there's been a lot happening.
There has.
Yeah, as well as what we just mentioned. So Canada cheating at the curling. So basically, you've got a stop line and you're meant to take your hand off of the stone, and he poked it with his finger. And it's quite clear he's poking it after the line with his finger. And when he was called out about it, he was swearing. It's like, I'm not fucking cheating. You fucking. It was like, well, it's not from East End, it's from Canada. But basically, yeah, he was swearing.
Wow. Well, sorry for the extra long episode today. I hope it was informative and interesting and made you laugh.
Made me laugh.
Oh, good. It is goodbye from him.
I'm just about to whip my clothes off now, and it's goodbye from her.
That'll cause an argument.